Franchise Sports Media!
Hey yo, it's the main event down on Radio Row. We're going down the teeth because that's how we roll. Down here, Franchise Sports with AEW in the building. Let you know now we ain't doing nothing but stealing souls. That's what we do.
Franchise Sports Media! The acclaimed have arrived, baby. That's pretty good.
Daddy. Yes. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the main event right here on Franchise Sports Media. I'm your host, Clowney Lua.
I'm Griffin Kemp.
We are sitting here with the one and only Anthony Bowens. Yes, from AEW. Man, I got to tell you, first off, that intro, thank you so much for backing me up. That's amazing.
Well, I told you if you did well, I would do my part, and I think that was pretty dope. So
pretty good.
You got it.
Pretty good. Now, in wrestling, lifelong fan, it takes a minute for something to get over. Your guys' gimmick, I will admit, the very first time I saw it, I said, oh, Lordy, we got a guy trying to rap. This guy's in a wheelchair at the moment. I get that you're injured. One day, I think you were in Milwaukee. Started to make me laugh with some of the punchlines. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. And all of a sudden, I said, here we go. Milwaukee! The Acclaimed wait a minute, it's kind of catchy now. And then I've been with it ever since. What was the orientation of that, and how did you guys know we're finally starting to get it to work?
Well, first of all, we never say gimmicks because a lot of what you see is just us. Although I'm introverted as a person, when I get out there, that is just a side of me that I guess I'm psychotic, honestly.
do something like that.
When I watch it back, I'm like, whoa. But they're just extensions of ourselves. Caster's always been rapping and doing music on. Essentially, he's been doing the same thing on the independents. We're making music videos and creating special custom disses for his opponents for a while. So it's literally just us, and then Tony had the foresight to put us together. And I didn't know what it was at the time, but I just started I need a catchphrase. What's cool? What can I connect with people with? All right, I'll yell the city. The Acclaimed Have Arrived isn't really cool, but I got it when I was driving home one day, and I had the GPS, and it was like, you have arrived. And I was like, yeah, I have arrived.
There it is.
That's where that came from. But I think people started enjoying us once we did a music video on Sting and Darby, a diss track that we called Goth Phase because they look like two goth guys. And people really enjoyed it. And then once the scissoring started happening, then it was just...
Oh, it's the absolute best. I got my pops doing it now. When we're in the store, Pop, scissor me. First time he's like, boy, if you don't get away from me. Now he's like... doing something. Again, it's one of those things that at first maybe you don't get it, but it just catches on. It catches on with people.
To be clear, just for people who are watching for the very first time, scissoring is a sign of friendship. It's not what you think it is. Don't have dirty minds here. I'll give you a little breakdown. You throw up your fingers like this in a scissoring motion, right? And then you interlock with someone else's fingers, and then you go... That's scissoring, and it connects people. And I'm being dead serious. I literally scissor people in public all the time, everywhere. Today, all over Radio Row, the airport. The weirdest one was, I call it the dirty scissor. The weirdest one was I was in the bathroom.
Oh, wow, that is a dirty scissor.
And I did my business, and then I went to go wash my hands, and someone walked in who was a fan, and they got very excited, and they're like, Bowen, scissor me! And without, my instinct was to just do it, and I realized I didn't wash my hands. So I call that the dirty scissor. But we do it everywhere, and it is... Honestly, not to ramble, but the time when I knew it was something special was we were in Vancouver, and the show ended early. I left early. I snuck out, and I was just incognito in the town square, the city square, where everybody shops and stuff. And I'm sitting there, no one knows I'm there, and I'm watching people walk past each other. And then one guy was like, "Yo, you're an AEW fan?" They're like, "Yeah, scissor me!" And they start scissoring, and then it happened again, and then it happened again, and I was like, if I wasn't sitting here right now, these people in this random ass city were just meeting random people, scissoring each other. We created something cool.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
It's funny and crazy it is.
Absolutely. So I want to ask from my perspective. My perspective is somebody who isn't the biggest expert when it comes to the world of professional wrestling.
Sure.
Talk about, you guys when it comes to being athletes, the training regimen, the injuries, what is it like for somebody who's trying to get into becoming a professional wrestler, and just talk about the brutality of it, really?
Well, it's a life of pain, and I think it doesn't get the respect that it deserves because people automatically go, well, it's fake. It's this. It's entertainment, yeah, but the physicality is very, very real. I don't have an MCL. My meniscus is partially torn. I had a repaired meniscus in my left knee. I had bulging discs. My neck's all screwed up. I have to get my hips constantly adjusted. I'm in the gym 5 days a week. That includes cardio, like high-intensity cardio 3 or 4 times a week, because what we do is very intense, and it's very hard to train for it. Like, specific sports have like different avenues and like goals and focus. They can focus on like this motion particular for pitchers maybe, or hitters. Us, we're jumping, we're manipulating body weights, we're getting slammed and getting the wind knocked out of us. We're running and sprinting, stopping. There's so many different aspects to it that if you don't train, you're screwed.
Yes.
And even with someone who does the amount that I do, even like 5 minutes into each match, I'm like, and we can't show it, obviously. We're on live television in front of thousands or millions of people at home. So it's a very tough sport. It's a very tough business, and I'm lucky with the injuries that I've sustained, because most people have they've broken bones, they've torn muscles off their bones.
Yes.
It's crazy.
If you look at some of the injuries that have happened, like you said, it's mind-boggling what you guys are still able to bounce back from. It's, like you said, you don't got a meniscus. You listen to your injuries. I want to take extra strength Tylenol, just listen to them and whatnot. My body's starting to hurt. I want to ask this. AEW is starting to plant their flag in Las Vegas. That's what we're here now for the Super Bowl.
Sure.
You guys have had some big events out here. The crowds are showing up. What's it like when you come? You travel all over the country, all over the world doing shows. Is there a particular favorite city you like going to for any particular reason? Could be they got good cheeseburgers. They got a nice gym you like there. A lot of people like the Scissor. Anything like that stand out from a city?
I think one of our biggest cities that have, actually the city that really launched us was Chicago. We had a match in, our biggest pay-per-view at the time was All Out in Chicago 2022. Excuse me. That was the crowd that really made us as a team, because we went out there, we were against Swerve and Our Glory for the tag team titles, and we knew we were the underdogs going in, but then we got out there and the crowd starts singing "Oh Scissor Me Daddy," and that launches that, and then they were just going nuts for us. And every time we've gone back since, they've gone crazy. So Chicago's pretty cool. I did enjoy going to London for our All In, the Wembley show, which was absolutely insane. Over 81,000 people were there. That's where we won these bad boys.
Mind blowing to see that crowd when they would show the wide view, like, whoa.
It was, we dubbed that night the biggest scissor party on earth, and when I said Wembley, throw up your scissors, and I looked around, you saw legitimately over 80,000 people with their fingers in the air, their foam fingers, their custom scissors that they bring to the arenas. Like, I just got chills going up my arm.
It's amazing.
It's insane.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So I want to ask you this. You see a lot of guys, I mean, let's take, again, this might be a bad example. Please don't, judge me for it.
I'm judging.
I look at a guy like Logan Paul. Logan Paul, who, it's a very big niche right now for guys like him to be jumping from pro wrestling to boxing and doing all these type of deals. You see guys like you, professional wrestlers, you guys are underrated athletes about, what you guys do, what you're capable of. How hard of a transition do you think it would be? Let's just say, just for you, if you had to, if you got a big old check saying, come enter the cage, come enter the ring, for one fight this person with a big name. Maybe they're not the best fighter, but they're right there. Is that something you feel like wrestlers, and specifically you yourself, could do? You'd be comfortable doing?
I think it depends on the person and their talent. Anybody can do anything really if they put their mind to it. But I do truly, just to put over our business, I'm an athlete, I can go hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball right now.
Ooh.
I used to play baseball as a Division I athlete doing it.
Okay.
You can tell me to go catch a pass, I can go catch a pass. I'm not really good at basketball, but
weaknesses.
I could run pretty fast. There's a lot of, maybe I wouldn't be an NFL player off the bat, obviously. Those guys are absolutely incredible. I wouldn't see myself on a Super Bowl field next week. But you see a lot of athletes from other sports try and come in and do this, and they fail miserably. Like, I had to try out, and this is the only time I'll bring up WWE, I had to try out with them in 2015, and that consisted of 30 or 40 athletes from all walks of life. Former football players, NFL, Olympians, some independent wrestlers like myself, track stars. We got an hour into that thing, and people were quitting. And these are high-level athletes.
Yes.
They don't have the coordination to run the ropes. They can't take the pain of falling down on the mat or getting punched in the face. The conditioning, and like I said, it's a different kind of conditioning.
Right.
They were dropping like flies, and only maybe, a handful of people like lasted 3 days there. So we're athletes, and that's what kind of, I guess we get insulted by when they're like, well, anybody can do that, it's fake. No, like, the best athletes in the world come and try to do this, and they fail miserably.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had UFC champions. I don't mean to cut you off, but we've had UFC champions like Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez, and like you said, Olympians who have admitted that was the toughest training they've ever did. We've done amateur wrestling, MMA fights. That's the toughest training ever because of, I don't know, the entrances, the outfits that they wear, the way the match goes. People look at it like, wait, what? But everything in between. Buddy, try picking up Keith Lee if you think this is fake right here, holding his big behind up and then slamming him down. And then I got to get up for 17 more minutes in this match and keep going. Tell me that's fake. So it is very underappreciated, unfortunately. But that's why we have superstars like you around to spread the word of the gospel.
Yes, sir. And I'm proud to do it.
Well, I was just going to say, a good example, regardless of how he did once he did move over to the UFC, was CM Punk. I mean, you have Dana White, who he takes his business very seriously, and he brought somebody from the world of pro wrestling over to the UFC. So I want to give kudos to you guys. You guys are athletes. You are the elite athletes. And no matter what sport it is, when you reach that elite level, it takes an unnatural level of athleticism to make it. So I just wanted to say, from somebody who is starting to get more into it, wanted to learn more about pro wrestling, definitely got my respect and definitely want to, follow your guys' careers a lot more.
I appreciate it. And you can check it out live this Saturday, February 10th in Henderson, Nevada, Dollar Loan Arena, AEW Live, AEW Collision's the name of that show. If you can't make it out, check it out on TV, 8 p.m. on TNT, or this is the West Coast, so 5 p.m. Unless you're looking at the West Coast feed, then it's at 8 p.m.
Now, if you happen to need any extra backup, somebody needs to run in and come make sure things are going right at ringside, I might know 2 commentators on Franchise Sports who might be willing to hop the fence and let them know. Not in this town, we don't. Just put it out there.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. I'll let my partners know and see what they think.
Keep it in mind.
Greatly appreciated. This is. Go ahead.
No, you're good, man.
All right.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of the main event right here on Franchise Sports Media. I'm Clowney Lure.
I'm Griffin Kemp.
This is the man himself from AEW, Sends Me Daddy all the way, the Acclaim. Next time, folks. Peace.